myself to the stream. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Let me get the comments up because I can't see anything at the moment. Here we go. Hello, how are you? I hope everyone's doing okay. And what are we going to do today? I have no idea. That's what we're going to do today. I've got absolutely zero idea. But I'm going to see what I can come up with. And I've got this envelope, which I've just put it here to cover the glare from the light that I've got on. But I don't know. Hi Sue, how you doing? Yeah, I've just used it to cover the glare because it was a bit hairy glary. Am I still upside down? I am. I moved my camera too. Oh, what a donut. Anyway, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. So, hi Carol. Hi Selena. Hi. Oh, hi David. Hi. So yes, as I was saying, I put this envelope here just to basically get rid of the reflection of the light because it's quite bright. But hi Susan. But I've been looking at it and thinking, oh, do you know what? I might have to do something with it. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to make something with this envelope. So I'm going to rip that extra bit off and we'll see how this goes. I mean, who knows? We never know, do we? Let's face it. So I am just kind of pulling this envelope to pieces. It's not from the Amazonia, but it's a similar type of envelope. So if you get packaging like that, it's brilliant for making things with. So I am just getting in there. All right, it's really nice cardboard to do stuff with. So I'm just deciding which side I am going to do stuff with, and I think I'm going to do stuff with this side. So let me try not to knock my light over. I'm going to grab my ruler and hopefully a knife. Yeah. Oh, my light's threatening to wobble over there. Right, and I'm going to cut this. I feel like I'm being interrogated. My lights are so bright. Let's see. Oh, Suruson! Hello. Leanne, hello. Olga, hello. Carol, hello. Hello. Oh, it's nice to see you all in the house. So I'm tidying up that edge as well. And let's get that. Cheeky. Because these are little bitty bits, the knife is not quite happy going through them, but we got there in the end. Tidy that bit up as well, without stabbing myself with any luck. So I've got that cardboard. Get rid of those bits. Oh, sorry, I don't want to blind you. Let me stick another piece of something there so it just covers that reflection up. So I've got my cardboard and I'm going to give it a little measure now to see where it's at. Right, this is a blah, 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 blah. It's over 13 inches. So it's about 33.5 centimeters. And what I'm going to do, black magnet sheets, it gives a little bit more rigidity. Black magnet sheets, it gives. Ooh. Hello, Facebook user. Right. So I'm going to cut this off where I want to cut this off, and I think I want to do 4, 1.5, and another 4. So that will be 8, 9.5. I want. So let me just put a little mark there. Oh, but I probably want a little flappy over bit as well, because I always like a little flappy over bit because I can't help it. So if I have a little flappy over bit, I'm going to need there and there. So I'm probably going to need 12 inches or 30.5 centimeters is where I'm going to cut it. And I can use my paper trimmer for this because it's not too thick for that. So let's go for the full 12. There we go. And I'm lucky because I've just about got that little edge in. I might do something slightly different now, just to make sure I get a nice little flappy over bit, because I like a flappy over bit. Let's have a look. Let's get a scoreboard in the house. So I've got my scoreboard. There we go. And I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Yes, magnetic sheets to store dies. Excellent idea. So I'm going to go 3.5, because then I will have a nice little flappy over bit. So I'm going 3.5, and then I'm going to go 5, and that gives me a nice 1.5 inch wide spine, which I like. So I've got 3.5 and 5, and then I want 8.5 for my other cover, and another 1.5 inches here. So I've got 8.5 to be 10. So I've scored at 10, 8.5, 5, and 3.5 on a 12-inch long piece of cardboard. And I'll tell you how deep it is now. It's just over 6 inches, but there or thereabouts. So I've got all my scores in place, which I like. Let's pop that out of the way. And I'm just going to fold on these lines. Now, ordinarily, I like to cut these panels separately, but I'm thinking on my feet, and I've got a slightly different idea today. So this is going to be the general shape of the book. And what I'm going to do, good morning, creative lovelies. I don't know who you are, but nice to see you. There we go. So that's my basic shape now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it in fabric. before I put some nice, gorgeous, delicious rice paper on it. I know, but because I'm covering it in fabric, it means that I'm not worried about these hingy bits so much. Whereas normally I'd want to cut them separately and use a bit of Tyvek on them. Because I'm using fabric, I know that the fabric will give my joints a lot of nice strength, so I won't have to worry about that. So I'm going to cover with fabric, and then I'm going to put some rice paper on top of the fabric, and I think it's going to be rather splendid. And then we'll do lots of other nice things to it as well. So I've got this fabric. This I think it's a linen. Is what it is, and it's a brilliant brilliant bit of fabric for doing all kinds of things with. You get it on a roll generally. So let me cut up here. Do you know, I'm tempted to put a little bit of wadding underneath this as well. I really am, and I might. I'm going to cut this to size, and then I'm going to decide whether I want to put a bit of wadding in here, because I think that might be quite nice. Right, so that's about the right length. And there's no sewing involved in this, so don't panic about the idea of fabric if you're not a sewer. But if you are a sewer, think of the possibilities with embroidery and such like. Ooh, I got quite excited about that myself. The idea of putting embroidery on this. Ooh, very nice. But obviously I couldn't do that in one afternoon, so it's not going to happen today. Right. So I've got my fabric cut to about the right size. That's right, Lou. Yes, it's your stuff, isn't it? Oh, Lou Withers. Do, 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 do. Right, excuse me. Sorry, I just had to have a little slip. Right, I'm just looking for a bit of wadding type stuff. Bear with me. Oh, I've got to have something. I can't believe I've got all this stuff in my room and I haven't got anything that will do a good job of wadding. Oh, how rude. Come on now. Oh, let me think. Oh, I have. I thought I did have. I'm just going to make sure I don't have a crafter lunch when I'm getting it. I thought I did have. I mean, anything you've got that you can give it a little bit of padding will do. So it doesn't have to be wadding. Oh, this is iron-on wadding as well that I found. Ooh. I'd forgotten I even had this. All right, bear with me because it's so big that I'm not going to be able to show you it until I cut enough off to use. So I'll just cut enough off to use, and I'll be back in picture properly. Oh, it's so big. Alright, oh, this is going to be an absolute pig to put away, isn't it? I can tell already. Right, there we go. I have managed to cut myself a smaller piece so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, that's lovely. So now it is iron-on. It is an iron-on forgotten the word, wadding. It is an iron-on wadding, so I could iron it onto my fabric before I put it on, which would be quite snazzy. Do I want to do that right now? I don't know. I'm going to cut this down a little bit more to size and decide. I'm quite happy for it to go over the edge a bit because it will give quite a nice effect on the edge. So just a little bit of wadding. And of course, if you didn't want to go down the decorative route that I'm going down, you could always use patterned fabric if you wanted to. You know, you can take it down any route you want to. Right, I think, given the amount of adhesive and stuff I'm going to do with this, that was terrible grammar, wasn't it? Given the amount of adhesive I'm going to do, given the amount of adhesive and stuff I'm going to use when I'm putting this together, I'm going to leave it like this. Now, of course, depending on the overall look you want, you could always cut separate panels for each section of your book, and then that would give you greater definition on the sort of the foldy bits, which is a technical term. So, right, that's quite a nice, yes, I think that's quite nice. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm now going to stick some glue on here, and I've got some bookbinding glue, which I love. Hi, Diane. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, hello from Chile. I can't see who you are from Chile, unfortunately, but hello. It's good to have you with us. Excuse my mop in the way a minute. I'm just getting some bookbinding glue out from here. So we've got some bookbinding glue on the go. And let me grab a spatula, and we will do this. So like I said, you could cut this into individual panels. I mean, you could from the start do it as individual panels if you really wanted to. And this is an iron-on wadding, so I could iron it, but I'm happy that I'm using quite a bit of adhesive, so I'm confident that it's going to all stay in place. And I'm putting another layer of adhesive on the outside when I add my rice papers and things, so I'm really not too concerned about ironing it. I am very excited about the prospect of doing another one like this and embroidering on the outside. That's a very exciting prospect. Can you let me push myself up a little bit? There we go. What's that? Hi Peggy, hi Carolyn, lovely to see you. So I've got that stuck into situ, and I'm going to just cut my corners. I'm going to miter my corners just because there's a lot of bulk here, and getting it all folded down and glued in place, it's going to be quite tricky if I don't take some of that bulk out. So mitering those corners will do that for me. There we go. Hopefully you can see. I think you can. There we go. Just mitering away. There. So I've mitered my corners, and now I can add some more glue. Just general bookbinding glue is what I'm using at the moment. I know it's readily available, and I'm just pulling that over. Now I know that's got my fluffy stuff, but I want it to also take my fabric, so I'm just helping that along the way. There we go. Let's pull it, give it a good pull, get it to a position. I'm not going to panic too much because I am going to be putting an inside layer on, so if it's terribly messy, it's not the end of the world. Okay, let's do this side. And there we go. Oh, I really want to embroider this so badly. I love a bit of stitching, but not today, Rachel. Not today. Calm yourself. Well, I went over to Leanne's new shop yesterday, and wow, it's looking so good over there. If you're in Wales at all and you can get to Nantymoel, I recommend it. You know, obviously I'm biased, but no, it is. She's doing an amazing job, and I think it's going to be a fabulous little empire. That's it, and I'm just making sure I give this a good little pull. A good little pull into place, like so. Let me get rid of some of my rubbish because otherwise I'll get into a pickle. So that's looking good. My folds, just making sure everything is going to fold nicely. And you can, if you're new to this sort of thing, whenever you're making a little journal or whatever, it's always good just to fold things and make sure they're going to do what you want them to do, because there's nothing worse, and I speak from my own experience, there's nothing worse than getting to the end of a project and realizing that things don't fold how you want them to. It's a very frustrating thing. So always, as you're going along, always give it a little fold and a little try and make sure that it's all going how you want it to go. So here we go. Let's get some more adhesive on here. Flip that over there. And get some more on here. I'm probably using far more than I need really, but never mind. And then a little bit on the outside corners will stop any fraying. Give that fabric a nice pull. Gosh, I've got no idea where this is going, but we will find out. There we go. So yes, if you're new to watching this, it's none of this is planned or premeditated. It's like, I don't know if that's relevant to this or not, but none of this is planned, and we just see what happens really. So it's a very long-winded thing because it's, you know, it's done as we go along, so it's very long-winded and it lasts as long as it lasts. There's no particular time limits. So some people will duck in and out. And in fact, I would expect people to duck in and out because it is a very long process. Other people just have us pootling along in the craft room with them, which is lovely. But yes, it is a long afternoon. So, right, I'm just making sure everything is stuck where I want it to stick. And I might actually, I think what I will do is I'm going to stick a few clips on this now to really hold everything where I want it. Now, where are my clippy clips? Here they are. These clips are absolutely, I don't know what Happy Wedding has got to do with clips. It's just the tin they came in, but you can get these and you get loads in a packet, and they are really handy for holding this sort of thing in place while you just wait for everything to dry and settle down nicely. If I put that there, I'm just putting them so that I can bend in the places I want to bend and check that it's all good to go. So there we go. So we've got the packaging that we cut to the size that we wanted, and then I've scored it so that I've got my front and my back cover, my spine, and well, another spine so that I can have a little flappy bit over the front. And then I've used some wadding and some linen to cover it so far. So let's just get these on. It won't, I mean, I'm pretty sure it won't be long after I put these on that I'll be taking them off, but it's good to just make sure everything is firmly set in place, because we don't want anything falling to pieces. There we go. So let's have a look. How are we? Oh yes, that's gonna work nicely. Thank you very much. And that little bit of wadding just gives it something else. It just gives it another element. That's really getting on my nerves, so I'm going to have to add a little bit more adhesive there, just because it's annoying me. There we go. And it's crazy because I know I'm going to put something else on here to cover all that up, but it was just getting on my nerves and it had to go. So there we go. How are we now? Where are we? Oh, hi Deb. Oh yes, Stamperia fabric would be amazing. I've done some little journals with Stamperia fabric, and it works a treat. It's again, it just, you don't have to worry about hinges and things if you're using fabric, because you know a fabric will act as your your hinge for you. So no, it's fantastic. Yeah. Oh gosh, no, I couldn't watch, and I can't watch anything for long on my phone. Although I'm saying that, I did get stuck last night. My husband will not want to hear this, but I did get stuck looking at cats and kittens last night because I'm desperately trying to talk him into getting a cat, because I know a dog would be a little bit too much for me, but a cat, now we're talking, I think. Oh, a little drink. And I want a little furry friend. I don't know what to say. This is the longest period I've been in my life without a pet, and I'm struggling. I'm finding it hard. So, yeah, so I spent quite a long time when I should have been sleeping looking at cats last night. What's this? Olga's been in the bath. You're all right. You're not the only one. I think there's somebody else who had a bath when they were watching that made me chuckle. So you're all right. You're not alone. Right. So we've got the basis of our cover there. Now I'm going to want some sort of fastening, and I'm going to want some sort of insides. And obviously I want to decorate my cover. I really like it like that. It's really nice. But we're going to decorate it. It's going to happen. So I need to have a look at my rice papers and decide what I'm going to use. Oh, hello. That's quite nice. I like that. That's very nice. It's got a little bit of everything going on. So I think that would make good. And this is, let me tell you what this is. This is called Blue Patchwork, and it's DQ RP0261. And I do rather like that. And I think if I cut it into the panels to go on here, I think it would look rather nice in panels. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, I like this already. We'll do a nice bit of binding on here as well, and bind our pages in. Oh, it's yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Right. Panels, Rachel, focus. So I'm just going to measure how big I want to cut some little panels. So I want 5.5 by I think I want about 5.5 by 3 for sure. So I'm going to use my trimmer hopefully to do that. We'll see what the rice paper thinks of the trimmer. It might not like it. I think I need to put a new blade in here. Oh, we're okay. We are okay. Right. Let me take an edge off here as well. Yeah, I wouldn't. This is not something I would actually recommend unless you've got a good sharp blade, because I'm having to be very tentative with it, because otherwise it's just going to rip. And because I'm making panels, I don't want it to rip. So I'm just keeping hold of that blade and listening to that, you know the noise that your trimmers make. You can get an idea of whether they're going to start doing something you don't want them to do. Oh, bye, David. Bye. Thanks for popping in. Oh, what's that? Stay tuned. I know. I'm so excited about Olga's new collection. I am very excited. It looks absolutely stunning. Right, what did I say? I can't remember now. 3. Did I say 3 by 5.5? That's what I said, wasn't it? Yeah, very excited for Olga's collection. It looks stunning. But if you haven't seen her paper collection that is in the shop, it's worth having a look at. It's really, really, really lovely. Now, did I say 5 or 5? I said 5.5, didn't I? That's what I said. Come on, Rachel. My memory is a shocker. Right, let's go there. Let's have a look how that's going to sit. Yeah, that's going to sit nicely there with a bit of a border. Yes, I like that. So I need another one of that size. While that's all drying, let's have a look. Three. Let's have a look. Somebody beeping their horn outside there. 3 by 5.5. Now there are lots of like words, Rachel. Come on, people need words. There are lots of adhesives out there that are specifically for rice paper, and some of them involve you do the gluey bit and then you iron on, and some of them don't. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use fabric glue instead. There's no right or wrong, and I'm not saying one's better than the other. You know, we develop preferences, don't we? And for me, for doing sticking rice paper to fabric that I'm not going to use as you know, it's not going to be something that's going to need washing or anything like that. I like to use my fabric glue, but like I said, that's just my preference, and there is no right or wrong about it. It's just my preference. Let me just measure that because I don't actually know how big that is. 1.5 we want for that one. So let's do that. Measure that up. And cut that one off at 3.5. So I've got all my little panels all the same height. Good. Just checking myself then. So I really like this rice paper, and I'm going to stick them in place with, excuse me, some this is Beacon 3-in-1 I'm using. Fabri-Tac is pretty much the same thing, and for me, like I said, this is my preference, but it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just my preference. So I'm going on about that a bit because I know for some people they feel that it's really important to use the same things as you know, as is being used, and really just go with what works for you. That's my thoughts on it. So let me just make sure I'm going the right way up. See, I wasn't, so it's a good job I checked. And just adding this glue now to this. Oh, it's got quite a whiff, I can tell you. But I like the way it sticks. Let's give it a really good press down because I want to make sure that it's fully adhered. There, and again, you see, I could sew around the edge of this. I just love sewing. There we go. And then we'll take I'm being quite naughty, aren't I? I need to put these away as I'm taking them off, otherwise I'm going to have a desk full of clips. Well done, Rachel. Just congratulate myself on doing something tidy. And then I want to make sure I put my spine bit in the right place. So again, I'm going to use my fabric glue. And I give it a good, I do, I chuck loads on. I mean, it is a good adhesive. You don't need to go mad with it. But I like to go mad with it when I'm using rice paper and fabric, because I want it to really get into the fabric. There we go. So that's fairly central. I'm quite happy with that. And let's do another panel. Take those ones off. Getting little bits sticking to me. Oh, I really like how this is going. I'm getting very excited. Not sure what I'm going to use to decorate it with yet, but I like where it's going. I think we might get a stencil and some acrylic paint going on here. Because of course, don't forget, you can use acrylic paints on your fabrics. And that needs to come out. As long as you're not going to wash them. Although, if you use Cadence Hybrid, which Leanne has in the shop, you can set those and you can wash those. They will work as fabric paints work. So there we go, like that. And let's do a little spine again. Just need to bend it so I can see roughly where I'm going. Well, thank you, monsieur. That's it. And just check I'm about central. No, I'm a little bit off there. There we go. I mean, the addition of some stitching on this would be really nice, and I may end up doing that because I keep going on about it. And let's take those off. Who have we got now? Oh, hi Joan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Joan. It's her birthday today. So I've got the last bit there. Oh yes, like that. Get that on there. And stick this last little section in place. So I really like that. I'm really happy with how this is coming together. So we've got, well, that's not quite, I think I've left it too late to move it there. Get a little bit of movement. It'll be okay though. I'm going to do some stenciling and stuff, so hopefully that will sort that out. So there we go. This is where we're now at so far. I'm not going to worry about those too much because I can put some more glue on them afterwards. So yeah, let's get a little bit of stenciling on this back panel, front panel. Yeah, that's what it is. So let me grab the stencil I want to use. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I like that one. So I'm going to use, this is, if I can get it out of the packaging, Stamperia, Once Upon a Time. So I'm not going to use the, I don't think I'm going to use the wording, but never say never. Oh, you see, now I'm quite tempted. And I've said that I don't want to use the wording. I'm actually quite tempted that I might go for it. In for a penny, and go big or go home, and all those other cliches. Yeah, I might. See, I was thinking of doing more of that kind of thing. No, don't grow them in the basement. Don't grow them in the basement. Right, so I'm still pondering what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for it. I am going to go for it because, you know, she who dares. She who dares. So I'm going to just use my Allegro paints, I think. And I'm going to just do this little bit of ivy with some green because it's ivy. So I like to get that to come out. Thank you very much. And I've got a bit of sponge here with some green already on it, so it won't matter if I'm just gonna go through this stencil. Just getting these little elements. And some of it's going to be on the rice paper and some of it's going to be on the fabric, and it's fine because the acrylic paint is good on either one. That's good. Right, now I want, you know, it's going to be turquoise because why wouldn't it be? I'm going to add some turquoise, and I will be adding a little bit of cookie as well, because anybody who's, if you've seen my use before, I am obsessed with turquoise and cookie, and I can't help it. Just adding some of that blue and with the green so that it will work as a whole kind of thing. It will blend the green and the other colours that I'm using. Right, so now I need to get, just holding this carefully. If I had stencil adhesive, I would use that with this just to hold my stencil in place. Cadence do a good stencil adhesive that Leanne stocks. I'm not sure if it's in stock at the moment, but if it's not, you can put in a thing to be emailed when it comes into stock. And it will just hold your stencil in place so that you can do whatever you want to do. Let's get this on here. I'm just going to use the turquoise before I bring the cookie in, because if I try and do them both at the same time, I'll end up with this too much of a muddy thing going on, and I don't really want that. I want some definition to the colour that I'm using. So these Allegro paints are very good. Every time I use them, I'm happy with the results. Just coming along here, getting the lettering on now. And I know you're not going to be able to read the whole thing, but I like the sort of random letters that you'll get. I think it'll be nice. I mean, I think we'll see, won't we? We'll see when they go. It's beautiful. A bit more of the turquoise. You really don't need tons of this paint either. It does go a long way. Although I am running out of cookie, and I keep forgetting to ask Leanne, so I must remember to put some in my shopping basket. Yeah. Right, lovely. Oh, I've missed that little bit there. Let's get it on there. Why not? Right, let me grab some cookie. Oh, I'm throwing everything down the back of my drawers. That's not going to be good, is it? Bear with me. I can't have used it all up. I'm sure there's some left. Yes, there is. Yay! Yay for cookie. Yes. Wonderful. Right, so I'm going to go back over this now, but I'm not going to go back over the whole thing. I'm just adding little bits of cookie. Oh, little bits of cookie. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I've been very good on a diet for a little while now. Oh, and I'm doing really well. I've lost a stone weight, and I'm hoping to continue along that path, because menopause made me very fat, unfortunately. So I'm now trying to repair some of that damage. So, and I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. It's coming off, and hopefully I'll be back to normal soon enough. A little bit here and a little bit there. Again here. just add in little bits. Yeah, menopause, oh, horrible thing, isn't it? It really is. I've been very unimpressed with it. I'm going to add a little bit of this gold as well. Again, this is the Allegros. It's Super Gold, it's called. I don't know if that's as opposed to normal gold or what, I don't know. But I'm just, again, like I did with the cookie, just adding little bits. I'm not putting it everywhere. And a little bit here. Oh, it really does. It drives me mad. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the well done. It's been all right. It has been all right. I've had to modify my diet a bit, but not, you know, it's nothing horrendous. But yeah, it's got to go because I'm terribly uncomfortable at the moment. But I should be svelte soon enough. Let's get that on there. Right, let's have a look then. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I like that. That's blending everything in rather nicely, I think. I mean, obviously, that's my opinion. But, I think that works quite nicely. I'm going to go around the edges with the rest of this with the cookie. With the cookie, I'm just going to go around these edges, just blending it in a bit. Yeah, let's turn that over. I need to put some adhesive on those corners again, just to keep them in a nice position. I'm going to take some of the gold around as well, but I'm actually going to just get it on those edges as well. Just getting it on those edges of the folds there. And then I'm going to grab the gold and just retrace my steps, really, just adding a little bit of the gold. It's not going to show up massively, but it's just a nice little highlight. There we go. So that's that. Oh, that's just popped up. I'll push that back down. So I'm liking where that's going. That's looking very nice. It's a little bit soggy at the moment, but it's going to dry off soon enough. So let me just do those corners. I'll wipe this paint up. You know, I can't be trusted with wet paint around, and then I'm going to just take some of this adhesive and just squidge the corners up, and that will tidy that up nicely then. There we are. Get in there, you cheeky devil. And each corner, just tidy it up. So again, we managed to do this without getting our needles out. That's it. And this will hold all those little edges in place. There we go. I'm still popping up there, much to my annoyance, but I'm going to sort that out now because I'm going to put the cover on. Get down there. A bit more adhesive on that one, perhaps. I think I'm not being generous enough. Right, stay in place, please. Okay, so I got the outside pretty much sorted now. I like how that's come together. Which way round am I going? Am I this way round? I think I am. That's weird. I thought I'd done it the other way. But I don't suppose it matters. Right, so now I need to cover the inside. So let's have a look. And I think I'm going to cover the inside with some rice paper, and I want something that could be quite fabulous in there, I think. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, food hygiene course. Oh, fantastic. Oh, have a lovely birthday, Joan. Have a lovely birthday. Hi, Fiona. Oh, please. I'm not sure who you are, who's done the food hygiene course, because you're only coming up as Facebook user. But whoever you are, well done on doing your food hygiene test. And yeah, don't worry about only getting here now, because this could go on forever. No, it won't. It won't. But right, let's get that one in place. So I want about there. So this one is called Maison Bleu. So let's pop that over there, and then we'll cut this one, and then we can get this one stuck in place. I've just folded it where I want the edge to be to save me measuring. And again, I'm just being very careful with my trimmer, because trimmers and rice papers don't always mix very well together. And my blade is not very sharp, and really and truly I should put a sharp blade in here, but I haven't. So I'm just being very tentative as I'm cutting this. That's it. Oh, nicely now. Just for the last edge. That's all you need to do, and I promise I won't put any more rice paper in you today. Oh, thank you. Right, so I'm going to use this one to cover, and because it's rice paper and it's so fine, I don't really need to worry about my scoring thing, because I'll be able to do that once it's all dry. So that's a nice position to be in. And I'm also, ordinarily I would put my ribbons, I'd tuck my ribbons if I was using ribbons, or my magnet, if I, whatever I'm using for fastening, I would ordinarily tuck in. But because we've got this fabric, I'm not going to do that, because I can sew a piece of ribbon on there if I so wish. So I don't need to do that. So it's given me a lot of freedom, the fact that I'm using rice paper and fabric. It's given me more options in terms of putting this together. So I think I need to do some sort of book plate or something on the front as well. Now I'm using that my fabric glue again, just because I want it to catch those fabric edges nicely. So I'm going to use it for the whole thing, and I'm using quite a lot. So if you do this, maybe you'd want to use a different adhesive in the middle to save your fabric adhesive. Right, let's have a look. Okay, and let's get this in place. I'm full of bits of glue. I love the sound of a guillotine, I've got to say. I do love the sound of a guillotine. Right. Now, once this dries, it will dry flat and nice, but I've got a lot of moisture going on. I'm just getting that little corner still, because it's still getting on my nerves. But it'll be okay. Okay. Just making sure that it's stuck nicely. And I think it is. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Next is upside down at the back, but I think I can get away with it because I want it to go this way around. So I think I can get away with that. Lovely. And this is all going to dry nicely. So the next thing I want to do is I want to think about my binding. And I think I'm going to go for a traditional wax thread binding. So I'll show you how I kind of put that together. So I need, first of all, I'm going to be going in this side. And I just need to make sure I can see that can see that, what do you call it? Binding bit, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a bind. I need to make sure I can see the binding. Oh, Rachel, where are your words today? Disappeared. Right, so I'm just getting a foam mat. Decide on the binding I'm going to do. So I know I've got 1.5. Let me just draw it. That'll be the best thing I can do, is to do a little template, and then I can use that to do my signatures as well. So it's the most sensible way of doing it. So my binding, see, that still feels like I'm using the wrong word. My binding spine. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Oh, honestly, words, where are they when you need them? That's been driving me up the wall. I've been saying this binding. I think that's not right. It's not right. But my brain just wasn't having it. Right, so I've done a little template here, and now I'm going to create my binding template. So I need a ruler and I need a pencil. So I've got pencil, and where did I put my ruler? Put my ruler here. Let me put my glue on my glue on my lid. My lid on my glue, because no wonder I'm having trouble with words, because that whiffs. Right. So I need to divide this up, and I think I want 3x4 holes. So hopefully, let me move this out the way and you'll be able to see what I'm doing, especially if I cover up that. Let me cover that up. Right, so I've got my little binding pattern, and it's the measurements of my spine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to work out where I want my signatures to go. So if I come that way a bit, actually. And so there, and that there, and there. So I've sort of tried to give myself a bit of an even spread there. And then I'm going to get my T-square ruler, because it saves me faffing and trying to get a straight line. And I'm going to draw those lines in. So there, and there, and there. So I've drawn my lines in, and then I need to decide where I'm going to put my, oh, I've gone a bit off there. Never mind, it'll do. So I'm going to come in a bit for my first hole, and I want them all to be in the same place. And I'm going to do the same at this end. I'm going to come in and I want them all to be in the same place. And then I'm going to maybe go there and there. Now I could have measured it, but I didn't, obviously. But this is going to be my spine template. Oh, I remembered the word. Well done, Rachel. This is going to be my spine template, and it's also going to be my signatures template, because it's going to tell me where to put my holes in my signatures. So let's do that. And I think we'll just do a standard binding today, and then maybe another time I'll show you the crisscross one, which is quite cool. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thanks, Fiona. Thank you. I'm making a book, Peggy. I'm making a book, making a little journal, and flicking glue everywhere at the same time. So this will be for my holes in my spine. I need some paper to make signatures with as well. So let me grab some paper. Oh, I've got some tea stained because that's always nice. And oh, that one's a bit ripped. Some tea stained, I think, some plain, and I've got some like fruity tea stained as well. So I've got a nice little combination going on. And I've also got a sort of book pagey thing as well that will be quite nice. So let's have a look what we got. Yes, I've got some tea stained and some fruity tea stained. They get I don't mind having ripped bits and extra bits. Don't mind it because I do. Well, when I make them, I do get into a bit of a mess at times, but it's all good. Let me just rip that one. This is I can't even remember where it's from. And you could also use you know, all your pattern papers, anything you want. Just use anything you want, because you know you can always gesso over things and paint over things. So I need to remember how big my pages are. They're 6 by 3.5. So I want to do my pages probably 5.5 by 5.5 by 3. I think will be nice. So that's 5.5 by 6 I need this to be, don't I? Yes, I do. It's all right. I'm just working it out in my head. So in my brain. So let's do this one. So if I do 5.5 that way. Lovely. And I'll do another 5.5 with this lot. Just take the bottom off here. And then it's by 6. So I will probably have to, no, I'm going up to 6. So there's 6. So here's that little lot as well. By 6. Okay, so these will be the right size for my pages, and I need to just fold them all in half. And make myself 3 signatures. So if I just fold them all in half first, and then I can divvy them up into signatures. So how are we doing? What's the time? Oh, we're doing all right. So there we go. So I'm just going to make myself 3 signatures that have got a little bit of mix of both. See, this one's a bit ripped, but that's fine. It's not a problem. It's where when I make them, they stick together sometimes, and it can be a little bit of a pickle. Right, that one's feeling a bit light, so I'll put. Now, of course, you could count your pages and make sure they've all got the same amount in, but I'm not going for massive accuracy with this. And I'm going to do, it's going to have like a permanent, where's my little spine? There it is. Going to have a permanent binding on it, but that doesn't mean that I can't add things if I want to. So let's take my foam. I'm going to take my foam mat and I'm going to place my little faux binding doofur and just make sure that I'm evenly spaced. And what I'm going to do, because I've got other signatures and I want them all to line up, I'm just putting a line where the end of my page is so that I can make sure that I line everything up in the same way. So let me just kind of fold on that middle line there, and then I can fit that into crease. And you can get cradles and things to do this if you're really into making your books. Get yourself a cradle and you'll find this much easier. Now, where did I put my stabby thing? Right here. So then I'm just going to go into the holes there, there, and now I know all my holes are going to be in the same place. So there we go. So that's my first signature done. And let's get another one. I got 2 together there. I think I must have. There we go. So I've got another signature, and because I've got my folded edge, I can put it directly into the center, and then I can line up the little lines I drew to make sure that it's in the right place. And then I can put my holes in the spine, and they'll be in exactly the same place as the last one. So let's put that one there, and then the third signature, there we go. Let's pop this into the spine, into the middle, then line up those marks, and there we go. Let's make those holes. So we've got all our signatures now ready to go, and they've all got their holes in the same place. So the next thing I need to do is I need to take my book. That's what it is. Yes, it's a book. And just make sure that everything's in the right place. And then I need to go through here and make the holes in all 3 rows so that they're ready to take those signatures that I've just made. So, and it's as long as I'm making holes in the cardboard, I'm happy, because I'm going to be using quite a sharp needle that will go through the fabric anyway. So there we go. So we've used the template now to make the holes in the spine of the book and in the spines of the signatures. Now I just need to reach across here and grab my needles and my wax. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to throw things everywhere. So I've got some wax thread and some binding needles. I'm going to take off a fair bit, because I can always trim off any excess, but if I don't have enough, it will be quite frustrating. It's doable. It's, you know, if you don't have enough, it's doable and you can always add. But if you want a nice finish, I'm sorry, I've got to peel that bit of glue off my fingers. It's getting on my nerves. It's better have too much than too little, but just be mindful you don't get in a tangle. There we go. Let me just have a little look up here. Oh, fantastic, Deb. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's not changed much. There are lots of things you can do. You can, you know, I quite like doing a nice cross binding and things like that is quite nice on the spine. But we'll save that for another time. So I'm going to take my first signature and I'm going to pop it in, and I'm just going to go through the hole I made. And if there's resistance, just pull back your pages and make sure you're going through the hole that you created. So there we go. And then I'm going to go in that first hole there. Oh, just got to get through that fabric, that's all. There we go. So coming out the other side. And I was tempted to go across then. No, Rachel, no, behave. And now I need to just find my next hole to go in, and I'm going to come through that hole on my signatures, which you'll see when I flip this over now, because I'm just doing a very standard straight stitch. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I mean, we can even put all these signatures in individually. Let's get to where are we at? And we don't want to lose that from there. Let me come through this side first. So I've come back through to the inside cover, and I'm just going through, or trying to go through, the signatures on this side. There we go. So I'll come back out here, and then just like running stitch, I'm going to go through this one, just giving it a wiggle to get through, making sure that my leftover thread is there. And I think we will probably do these as individual signatures. So there we go. You can see now I've got this stitched bit here. There's a little bit of the waddings come through there, but we can snip that off. That's not the end of the world. And now I just need to find my way into the right place here on the back. I suppose it's a little bit trickier, yeah, a little bit trickier in the respect of ordinarily you can see the holes quite easily, and obviously they're not so easy to see on this side. But we've done it now, so we're through there. So it's looking like a running stitch, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through there. We go. I mean, you could leave it at that if you wanted to, but I'm going back through because I want to give myself a nice line coming down the back of here. Let's get that needle through and through. Yep. And so I've got a line now coming down that spine, and I'm going to do another line and another line with the other two, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this off now. I could come up and go across, but I think I'm going to do all my signatures separately, and then that does mean if ever I want to replace them, because they're individually bound, it'll be quite easy to take one out and replace it. Well, that wasn't particularly tight, was it? There we go. So I'm going to do another knot there, and I think I've got enough thread left on here to do my next signature. So now, if you don't like the knots, I don't mind having the knots. If you don't like them, the trick is to do them over a hole and then wiggle it and push it so it comes out the other side of the hole, and then that way you'll lose your knot. Right, and I'll get rid of this fluffiness as well. Go away, Fluffy, you're not invited to this party. There you go. So we've got a little line, and let's take another signature, and we're going to pop it in. Hey Ryan, how is the shop going? Hang on there. Get that one in there. That's it. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to be guided by the one I've previously put in, so that will make it a little bit easier, thank goodness. And then just looking for the hole in the signature. There we go. So I'm bringing that one through, and I'm doing exactly the same as I did on the last one. And as long as you take your time and make that original template for yourself, everything will fit because you've measured it all out. I think I'm in the right, yeah, I'm in the right place. I couldn't work out where I was for a minute then, but no, it's all good, and it's all going in. So I've got that running stitch going on there. and I'm going to take that through the hole there. And again, this is going to give me a nice line coming up here. Now when you're doing this as well, you can always add, if you want to add beads or anything like that to this, because it's a nice simple stitch, it's really easy to add beading and things like that too, as you're going along, which is really effective. So there we go. Let's tie this one off. I might get the last signature out of this, which is pretty cool if I do. And so I'm just tying it off like I did the last one, making sure it's really firmly in there. And again, I'm cutting mine off and leaving the knot, but if you want to tuck that knot in, you just go to where one of the holes is when you're tying and push it in through. So let's take this last signature and pop it in here. Yeah, I think I've got enough thread to get this one in as well. So through the hole, like that, and through the hole in the spine. Like so. And then I'm just being guided by the other stitches to find that hole. There we go, coming through. Oops, don't lose that thread. But if you're not confident about leaving this loose, what you can do, sorry, I do get distracted by the glue on my hands. What you can do is you can pop a little bit of washi tape on that thread at the top to hold it in place, and you'll find that if you do that, you won't lose it. You know, I'm not going to say that I'm happy to do it like this and not lose it, because the minute I say that, it's going to be the minute that it goes through, isn't it? So, but yes, it's easy enough just to pop a little bit of or a little bit of removable tape, you know, something that's not going to ruin your pages, and just tape it down, and then you're not going to lose your end. Right, why isn't that going through? There we go. And through that. Like so. And then let's find that hole. I think it's there. Yes, it's there. And okay, that's through there nicely. And then I'm going to go again exactly the same as I've done with the others, just back through that hole and in this one. Come on, cheeky. And do, you know, you might find you go through in the wrong place. Like I'm just off to the side there, but I'm not having it. I I want it to go where it's supposed to go. There we go. And we will tie this one off, and this is the last one. There we go. Oh, I can show you what I mean by pushing it back through the hole. It's better if you do one of the further down pins, really, but what you do is you just push it through and push it through again, and just until you get to the bottom page. Oh no, my knot's coming undone, don't you dare. Not when I've cut you so short. There we go. We'll leave it like that, I think. Right, so I've got my pages. Let me put my needle away because I don't want to lose that. Got my pages in place. Got my nice little book, and they're all nicely sewn in, so they're not going anywhere. And I could put a nice little pocket here. What I am going to do is I'm going to do some, going to fasten it. Now, what I could do here is I could sew this on here, which I'm sorely tempted to do, and then that way then I can just wrap around. Yeah, I am sorely tempted to do that. In fact, I will do that, but just not immediately now. So yeah, so I think that's it. I think that'll do. I think that will do. What time are we on? Oh yeah, we've been nearly 2 hours. I think that's enough. So, oh yeah, Angela, I keep a very close eye on my needles, because otherwise my feet tend to find them. So yes, so there we go. That's a nice little padded fabric journal that I am probably going to add some bling to, and yeah, I probably am going to add some sewing too, because I can't resist it. Sorry, I don't know what this little thread is that's adhering itself to me. I think it must be off the ribbon. But yes, so that is that. So all done, and no, I haven't had to use any separate pieces. I haven't had to use any hinging material, because I've got fabric and I've got can't remember the name of the stuff now. Sorry, words and me are not friends today. But I've got the wadding. That's what I've got. I've got the fabric and I've got the wadding under here. So that's really going to add strength to these folds, so that they can be folded and unfolded for a long time. So, and that's my nice little book, and I've used some Decoupage Queen rice paper, and I've shown you how to do that nice straight stitch binding, which is very easy to do. And we did some stenciling with acrylics on the fabric and the rice paper. Yeah, and I think that's it, really. That's it. So thank you very much for joining me. And if you're in yeah, you could do toy stuffing. It's all the same, isn't it, Sue? It is all the same. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, very, 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 very happy to do some classes, and do some, maybe some funky 3D stuff. I don't know. I'm always up for a class. But thank you very much, and I will see you all next week. If I don't see you all, and if you're in Lantamoyle, don't forget to pop by. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate your support. It's nice to everybody. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.